General Aubrey Bullock, late of the Rifle Brigade and the War Office.
As I remember him, he always looked more stupid than he actually was.
Yeah. Could happen to any of us, Dimmer.
No?
I say it could happen to any of us.
Next, please.
As you may recall, the General was found hanged in his garage 2 years ago. Note the barbed wire round his neck. Not indigenous to Mayfair, I'd say.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yes, Lord Strathkeen, DSO, MBE. He was shot first and then arranged so that he appeared to be playing chess. Remember? He holds a black pawn.
Rather hackneyed symbol, really.
Both killings were symbolic, but I'd hesitate to call them hackneyed.
Symbolic of what?
I'm coming to that. Manifestly the same murderer, manifestly motiveless to the police. Now, what factors do the careers of Bullock and Strathkeen have in common?
They both served at the same time in the same East African state, Strathkeen as governor and Bullock as his general officer. You listening?
Not especially. I was leaving you to hold on to that thought. Now, yesterday I discovered a small but disquieting fact about these killings. Both were committed on the same date, precisely 1 year apart.
The murderer was celebrating an anniversary.
Yes. Ritual killings. Possibly some sort of revenge. 1 year apart, on the 15th of February.
That's next Monday.
Exactly. We have 4 days to prevent another celebration.
Well, should be enough time.
I sincerely hope so.
Well, he's obviously working through a list.
Thank you, Dimmock. But who else is on it?
Ah.
You look tired, my dear. Are you all right? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Have you nearly finished your talk, gentlemen?
That's quite all right, Miss Hardacre. I think your father and I now see things eye to eye.
Splendid. But please, do go on.
Yes, I think we're in agreement now. You do understand, of course, Hardacre, that the arms must be purchased outside the United Kingdom.
Oh, yes, that's of paramount importance.
You don't worry, gentlemen. I shan't do anything to embarrass your colleagues in the government.
The fact that they're not behind us officially over this isn't going to be believed anyway.
Not by the African Federation.
Not by the Russians or the Americans.
Nor his own party, nor the opposition come to that, I mean to say.
So you see, we're out to keep this as much at arm's length as possible.
What he's not quite saying is that actually it's a pity that you're white at all.
Oh, come now, let's keep party attitudes out of this.
Well, it's true, isn't it? If this was an all-black uprising, certain powers simply wouldn't...
Well, it's not. So let's face the situation as it stands. I'm quite sure that Hardacre appreciates the situation. He realizes that if anything should go wrong, we, that is, the people we represent, would have to disown him.
It wouldn't be the first time, would it? Now, make no mistake about this, Moresby. I'm doing it for Pat and myself, not you or your friends in Whitehall.
Quite. Until Saturday lunchtime, then. We'll leave you to tackle Cumano.
Yes.
I'll give you all the unofficial help we can.
Sorry it's been all business, Miss Hardacre. Tell me, do you ever get up to town?
No, the place repels me.
Oh. I was going to suggest that you dropped in at the House of Commons one afternoon. Cup of tea and a look round, you know?
Shouldn't have thought you had time for that sort of thing.
One can usually make time. Why don't you? Part of every English person's education, you know.
But I'm not English, Mr. Walker. I'm African. And I'd be there now if it wasn't for the bungling ineptitude of your House of Commons.
Quite. Well,
Come along, Walker. Goodbye, Miss Hardacre.
I'll see you, Hardacre.
Walker.
Bye.
Dear God. Charter! For heaven's sake, bring me some of your drink!
Take it easy.
Oh, the mealy mouthed, they make my flesh creep.
They've got no guts.
Come on, let's get on with it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Town bookshop? Yes? James Hardacre? Well, well, this is a surprise.
As I heard you were living in Oxford, I've been meaning to ring you.
Well, it's my fault. I really should have got in touch. I read you had some trouble out there before you...
Yes. Look, there's something I wanted to talk to
Is
you
Pat
about.
all right?
What?
Pat.
Pat? Oh, yes. Fine, thank you. Look, I think we should meet. What are you doing this weekend?
Booked up, I'm afraid.
Oh, pity. There's something I wanted to discuss with you.
What, old time?
No.
Surely.
No, Kumano, not old times.
Oh. But I am really booked up.
Well, you won't be too booked up for this. Look, a certain anniversary is coming up on Monday. Or had you forgotten? Now, I think we should spend it together.
I see.
You'll be very foolish to refuse.
And perhaps foolish to accept. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, I'll expect you on Saturday for lunch. Grafton Farm, Grafton. Goodbye.
No use whatsoever. All or none of these peoples could be the next victim. Search department. We might just as well have telephoned the Citizens Advice Bureau.
Perhaps you didn't program our research ladies precisely enough.
I did, very precisely. Meanwhile, our killer is working on known facts.
To a deadline.
Please, the McPuns cause me acute dyspepsia. What are you doing?
Would you like to make a quick profit?
Not especially.
Pity.
By the 15th of February, if you remember, we were in direct contact with Bullock and Strathkean. Bullock took a close look at his army and discovered he had 79.5 potential rebels in it.
And a half?
The one-eyed arms depot storeman with a wooden leg. Your memory, Dimmock.
On the 2nd of February, Mumbo invited all the more influential chiefs to a drunken garden party where every dahlia was bugged.
It's very informative, they were, too.
On the 4th, we sent out a deputation from Parliament to reassure the white farmers.
Not ever successful there, were we?
On the 8th...
Yes, thank you, Dimmock. You've made your point.
Memory. Only a matter of anticipating the rebels' moves, as in chess.
Chess. Yes, of course. Strathkean was playing white. How very myopic of us. The black pawn we thought he was playing, he had just taken.
Kumano, he could be the murderer. He's in exile here, you know.
Yes. He would have been president had the plot succeeded.
Oh, there's that farmer. What's his name? Hardacre?
Yes, thus making the murders appear the work of an educated African, like Kumano.
I wonder if they're in contact.
If Hardacre isn't planning another attempt, he certainly ought to be.
Not much else left for him to do, is there?
He'd need arms, wouldn't he?
In considerable quantity.
I know just the fellow who could help him.
Good.
And us. He's been doing a steady trade for years now, to the IRA.
It's good. What about stoppages?
Off magazine and clear the breech with the hand action. That's it. But I've never known one jam yet.
What's the supply situation on these?
You know, your daughter's got a good eye for a gun.
What?
Oh, this is the one they all want. Very hard to get. You'd be on much firmer ground with the American model.
Oh, yes. That's for me.
How many?
20,000.
And the French bazooka, you firm on that?
Yes?
Right, well, I might have to make up with a few Clockenhausers and maybe some Bertinis.
What percentage?
Say 12?
Say 5.
I'm sorry, I'd like
Yes,
to.
I think perhaps we better go somewhere else.
I'm afraid they'd say the same. It's a seller's market just now, Mr. Hardacre. Now, what's your time factor?
1 month.
1 month? Oh, can you give me a date?
March the 15th.
I see. That allows for a training period, does it?
It does.
Yes, well, you can train men with a quarter of the arms you need for actual combat, so perhaps we can ship the balance to you just before kickoff, eh? What is your final date, Mr. Hardacre?
I can't tell you that. As far as you're concerned, it's the 15th.
I'm sorry. 20,000 mixed is the best I can do for you, my
Now
lord.
listen, Houston, I want carbines, nothing else. And I want them in 1 month, so you get onto your principles and you tell them that.
Right. 20,000?
That's for me.
Right, well, these carbines will be 20 sterling apiece plus 15% for bulk.
What?
Oh, yes. As wholesale works back to front with us, you know. The bigger the consignment, the bigger the risk. One tip-off, we lose the whole lot. Plus 25% for the rush through. You're up in the $500,000 class, Mr. Hardacre. Are you sure you want to play?
What are your terms of payment?
In advance. Banker's draft paid into the Bank of Geneva. Can you get sterling clearance?
Yes.
Right. It's a deal.
Good. Now, I have your guarantee.
Guarantee? Oh, bless you. Now, I have to cable my principals, make sure they can meet the consignment.
Oh, for heaven's sake. How long's that going to take?
Oh, an hour or two. That is, if I can use your phone.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, who's going to be firing these?
That's none of your business.
It might be, you know. If they're Africans, you'll have to double your quota of ammo.
Who said anything about Africans?
Good afternoon.
Kumano, my dear fellow.
Good afternoon.
Listen, you said you wanted to use the telephone. There's one in the house. Help yourself.
Thank you.
Chalker!
Excuse me.
Hugh, I didn't know.
Take a good look.
Pat.
Your countryman did this
Yeah,
to
Pat,
him.
this is no
you
way to
haven't
receive
shot
this.
off your mouth your friends at Government House. It would never have happened.
Pat, go and see about lunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where the phone is.
What? Oh, it's in your room, the last one on the right, upstairs. I'll show you.
I'm terribly sorry, Kumano. She's had an awful time.
Yes, of course. I'm truly sorry.
Yeah, well, she's got this bee in her bonnet. You had some old school chums at Government House, and she couldn't see how else Whitehall discovered our plans. It's quite ridiculous, of course.
It is, rather. I mean, I would hardly ruin my own chances of ruling my own country.
No, of course not. But you know what women are. Once they get convinced in their own mind that something's wrong.
It is an honor to see you again, sir. Senin bir sürmemi nuyunayla.
Jerry dear, let's hope our ancestors may yet be proud of us.
To give my life for our country would be enough reward.
Thank you, Chaka. We may perhaps have reasons to call upon your loyalty.
Now, would you like a drink?
I would love one, thank you.
Fine.
Just leave me to do the talking. Everything should be perfectly all right.
Gentlemen. Now me. Moresby Smith, Walker, Cunningham. I'd like you to meet Prince Kumano.
How do you do?
Victor Able Dog. Pocahontas calling Victor Able Dog.
Mr. Houston is calling us, Dimmock.
Pocahontas to Victor Able Dog. Pocahontas to...
Yes. Go ahead, Pocahontas.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hardacre's taken the bait. Reading between the lines, I think he intends to make a strike round about Easter. And guess who's just arrived for the weekend?
Kumano. How involved is he?
I'm not sure. Looked like a first visit to me. And there's some friction between him and the daughter. She thinks he blew the gap over the last ploy.
Her father. Does he share that view?
Hard to say. I think maybe yes.
So if Hardacre's our killer...
Kumano could be next on his list.
I heard that. Now, Hardacre rides in a wheelchair, but his daughter has got hate enough and guts enough to do his dirty work for him. Oh, and incidentally, 3 gentlemen from the House of Commons have just arrived, complete with baggage. Moresby Smith, Cunningham, and Walker.
Thank you, Pocahontas. Over and out. 2 of those MPs were in that deputation.
They were indeed.
Then perhaps Hardacre's planning to kill the lot.
About 4 years.
really.
What about this beast, Hardacre? How did you grab him?
Ah, yes. Now, he came at me off the mud flat. Wait. He was traveling so fast when I shot him that he slithered 40 yards on his face. His right horn pierced my boot.
Really? Good Lord.
Did you accompany your father on these trips, Miss Hardacre?
Yes, when I was old enough. I shot my first elephant when I was 14.
And a first man when she was 20. Thanks to their selling out of the white settlers.
Oh, what's
No, no, come on, gentlemen. Come and have a look at this over here. Talking of shooting men, just look at these front claws on the leopard skin here.
Well, they're metal.
Steel, Moresby. Steel. Sharp as razors. The head's hollowed out like a mask. You tell him, Comano.
They were worn by the old Leopard Society.
Leopard Society?
Yes. Their stork men, disguised in leopards, would kill with those talons.
Uncivilized. There's political group. Disbanded now, of course.
Hey, what about this little chap, Mr. Hardacre? Did he give himself up in gratitude when you took the thorn out of his foot?
No. You're not allying for Houston's over-exuberance. The power of the House has declined, Dimmock. Name me one MP worth a considered assassination.
Don't tempt me.
Bullock, then Strathkean. They were killed in rising order of importance. We must go higher than Strathkean for our next victim.
The then foreign minister?
Possibly. Or if we use strict protocol, the Prime Minister.
The PM?
The last PM but two, Dimmock.
Oh.
Never mind, we have one consolation. What? Houston is neatly placed to observe both our prospective murderers.
While we decide who the victim will be.
Oh, very good. I like decide. Makes it sound as though we know what we're doing. I want the Foreign Secretary, the Minister for Commonwealth Relations, and the House of Lords, one at a time, and in that order.
You know, this evening has the appearance of a business conference. I do hope my presence here isn't embarrassing your father. But perhaps our interests are mutual, Miss Hardacre.
You'll just have to wait and see, won't you, Mr. Houston?
You know, all this stuff puts me in mind of open day at Africa House.
Damn ridiculous and nonsense it is. When are we going to start talking?
Gentlemen, please, would you come and sit over here?
Over there, he must be joking.
Well, Moresby, when in Rome.
The things I've done for England.
We'll hold our conference in true African style. Oh, Mr. Houston, I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to leave.
Oh?
What about that cable of yours?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm afraid they must have been called out of town or something. Things do have a way of cropping up in our business.
Well, then you'll have to stay the night, won't you?
Thank you.
Please let no! Thank you.
Right, well, I'll let you know the moment anything comes through.
Yes.
I shudder to think what the minister would say if he could see me now.
I don't know. It might be fun when the floor show starts.
Right, gentlemen. First of all, we'd better put Comano in the picture. Agreed?
By all means.
I'm planning a fresh insurrection.
Now, look
here.
here.
Wait. Hear me through. A lot of our friends have been dispossessed by the new government, but you must know that.
I've read something in the Times.
There's Chief Kasunga, Old Matadi, Ubuntu. They're sheltering in Hapsville, just across the border. Now, my agents have been in touch with them, and they're willing to fight. And once back on their own lands, they command sufficient warriors to rout the government forces.
If intelligently led.
General Lebrun is in Paris. He's promised to work for us.
The mercenaries. I see. But to achieve any kind of success, gentlemen, you will need enormous supplies of arms.
Yeah. Houston represents one of the largest syndicates in Europe. He's clinching that deal right now.
I see. And who will pay for them?
The money is available.
Certain firms with certain interests.
Sugar, manganese, copper.
Provided, of course, the elected government is pro-Western.
Of course. And who would lead this government for you?
You, Kumano.
Your leadership is vital to this whole enterprise. Without you, there's little hope of success.
No.
What? Now, wait,
I want no part of it, gentlemen.
Kumano.
I want no part of
Now,
it.
wait! Gentlemen, please will you leave us alone? Thanks.
We'll wait in the study.
What is the matter with you? Don't you realize what I'm offering you?
You're offering me my own country.
It's our country.
Oh, no. You've cleared the bush and mined the hinterland. We know all about that. But it still is not your country.
Oh, no. My contribution doesn't count. You just wipe it out along with the prosperity it helped to bring.
We didn't ask for any prosperity.
We didn't ask to be born. So what? It's a fact and we have to face it. Look, I want only one thing.
Yes. Your land's back. And for that you will plunge the country into a war.
What are you doing here?
I was just, I think I've left my keys in there. I need some things from the car.
Keys? Where did you leave them?
I'm not quite sure. On the mantelpiece, I think.
We don't understand. What is it?
Sorry, Mr. Houston says he's left some keys in here.
Ah.
There you are.
Thank you very much. I'm so sorry about that. It's a very bad habit I've got. Good night.
Your father is living in the past, my dear. Good night.
He won't play.
No. Don't lose any beauty sleep over it. He'll come round. I'll see you in the morning.
su fekk naa wax ak yow dégg nga fanaanal jàmm.
Ak yow.
Good evening.
Good evening. Mr. Kumano won't cooperate. Once bitten, twice shy, by the sound of it.
How much longer can you hold on there?
Oh, breakfast time? Maybe lunch.
Until tomorrow, Monday. I'll arrange for you to receive a cable from your principals in Brussels saying they can't confirm the availability of the arms until then.
Right.
Do not allow Hardacre out of your sight for a moment. Understood? Not for a moment.
Okay. Out.
Max?
Yes?
Oh, you're not in bed yet?
No. Do you think it's that fox?
I don't know. Something's disturbed them.
Sounds scared to death. Just coming down to have a look.
No, I think perhaps I'd better go with you. Now, who the blazes left those open?
Parker locked up.
I'll have his black hide for the bath mat. What was it?
An animal. I could see its eyes shining.
It's a fox. Pat, you better take this.
Pat? Pat!
Daughter maimed, father killed, and you can't identify the killer. Well done, Pocahontas.
So the murder was before midnight?
Yes. Well, it's obvious. Commander was the killer, Hardacre the victim. Just anticipated his date, that's all.
You're talking nonsense, Dimmock, and you know it. I told Houston to watch Hardacre. Really, a professional gun runner who can't even shoot straight, I don't know. Don't you see, Dimmock? This killing was too hasty, too ill-considered to be the genuine one. No. The real celebration will be today, the 15th, as planned.
All right. Who?
I haven't the faintest idea. Still, I've managed to put the wind up 2 senior ministers, 18 permanent undersecretaries, and 5 newly created life peers.
Victor A. Bulldog to Pocahontas?
Go ahead.
I want you to search Kumano's room and report back.
What am I looking for?
Anything. Out.
Comano killed my father. I know. I was there, Inspector.
Oh, look here, Miss Hardacre. How could you possibly know who it was, dressed up in that fancy dress, leopard skin? After all, you told me already you didn't even see his face.
I didn't need to see his face. I tell you, it was Comano. If you'd any sense, you'd arrest him.
All this is getting us nowhere. I know how you must feel about your father. But wild accusations aren't going to help us. Are they now?
Well, what the hell am I expected to do, then? Just sit around and let British justice take its useless course?
Well, now, let's see just what we do know. When he attacked you, it was in the dark.
Of course it was dark. That's how these boys kill. He killed my father in the dark. It was in the dark when Houston fired at him. Have you seen Comano? Was he hit?
Now, these other guests you had to dinner...
They went home. Besides, they wouldn't have the guts to shoot a dog. I tell you, he was killed by Comano.
Pat, I'm sorry about your father.
Get out. Get Get out of here before I kill you.
Inspector, with your permission, I would like to leave now.
Yes. Yes. At the moment, it would be just as well. I have your statement. You'll be at your Oxford address if I want you?
Yes.
Tell Mr. Houston I'd like a word with him, will you?
Yes, of course. Well, goodbye, Pat.
You must have hated us.
Right. I've been through Comano's room. Nothing there. Except a piece of paper. Looks as though it might be a plan of some sort.
Describe it.
Start with a square, 2 inches by 2 inches.
Yes?
Add to the right-hand side an octagon less 3 sides.
You mean a pentagon?
No, what I mean...
Oh, yes, got it.
There are 2 short lines close together in the middle of the right-hand vertical of the square.
Some sort of door?
I don't know, you're just getting what I've got.
Anything else?
Yes, one small rectangle.
Where?
On the left-hand vertical of the square.
Oh, that's it. Somebody's coming.
Don't let Comano out of your sight. Out.
Yes?
The inspector would like to see you.
Right. Thank you. You want me?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Houston. Sorry to trouble you again, but perhaps you can help us. We seem to have reached some sort of an impasse with Miss Hardacre. Now, you are quite sure it was too dark for you to clearly identify the man you shot at?
Oh, yes, quite sure. But, of course, in that leopard skin outfit, it would be very difficult to recognize anybody, wouldn't it?
But you are pretty certain you did hit him.
Ah, no, I didn't.
What are you trying to prove, Inspector? That there's a half-dead leopard limping round the countryside? Comano killed my father.
Inspector! Inspector Mannering, I think we've got him.
God. Chaka.
You hit him all right, Mr. Houston.
Who's that leaving?
Come on, I expect. He had an appointment to keep.
I bet he did. Excuse me.
You know, Miss Hardacre, we're all hunters underneath the skin.
Well, it's obviously a plan of some kind.
A room, an office.
Yes, but whose?
His, Comano's.
Why would he want to make a plan of his office?
All right, somebody else's. His victims.
Very well, then. Let us discover which Whitehall offices, if any, are similar to this one.
Right.
Hello? Hello. Stupid girl, she's plugged in the wrong... He doesn't show any windows.
Well, it hasn't got any windows. That narrows the field a bit.
We begin to look a trifle foolish.
Try the intercom.
No need to rush about, Dimmock. He'd have thought of everything.
How stupid! We thought of everyone but ourselves. Officially, we're merely
Yes. But he acted on our orders.
reply. But... oh, forget it.
I wonder what he does propose to do.
Well, we shall know soon enough.
I wish he'd hurry. How could Kumano know about room 17?
Yes, that worries me far more than anything he may have decided to do. We may have to move, Dimmock.
Someone's coming.
The impact of a 4.5 bullet at close range is somewhere in the region of 10 tons. Provided one doesn't miss, of course. Most interesting. Have a look.
Oh. Harmless, I should say. Unless you lift that lid.
He's relying on our natural nosiness.
He may be. In that case, I suggest we leave.
Dimmock, have you no thought for others?
Seldom, if ever.
You could be powerful enough to blow up the whole building. Other people work here too, you know.
Out of compassion for our unlovely research ladies. I'll take a look.
To be tactful with it.
Oh, yes.
Well, what sort of machine is it? No, I will not lower my voice for any machine, however electronic. So, let's get it out of there so we can both see it.
Oh, gently, gently. This seems to be sealed off. What are you doing?
I'm going to probe.
Don't touch it!
I find this rather ice cool of me. I imagine I could be electrocuted or something.
Right. Wedge the knife in.
What?
If it was going to go up, it would have. Wedge it in and turn it.
On handle and all?
Yes.
Now, hold this pole. I told the furnishing officer that we hadn't got any windows, but thank God he wouldn't listen to me. Here, help me with this.
No, sir. Every office has to have a window pole, or I'd lose my job. See?
Now, hand me the pole.
You can do.
Take cover. In the other room. Go on.
Oh, very well. You're the expert, so-called. Very good.
Wait! It's a six-knobbed bandit.
An intellectual fruit machine. How very ingenious of him.
The hand moved. Got 5 minutes, apparently.
To do what, I wonder?
Stop it, of course. Don't touch it!
You've been too long in bomb disposal. Words, Dimmock, words.
Combination.
Yes, almost certainly. Solve that, throw that, and we've disarmed the machine. I trust. You twiddle while I think.
I rather approve of this device.
I mean, if we can't solve it, we deserve to be blown up.
No, it's a neat job.
I can't think out here. Let's bring it into the office.
Yeah, well, we may as well do it in comfort.
We mustn't be too clever. Numbers won't help us at all. Let's have it over here. That's it. Shall. I. Fool. Oh. Again. Come. Is. Chaos. Here's a point there. Unsure. Still. Is. Come. To. What? Yes. How's your Shakespeare, Dimmock?
I admire the sonnets.
But find the plays untidy.
Just like the theatre.
Backwards. They're all quoted backwards. Oh, fool, I shall go mad. King Lear, Act 2, Scene 4. First folio reading, 1623.
Chaos is come again.
Othello, next.
What's to come is still unsure. Festi, 12th night. I wonder where Comano is at this moment.
Sitting in his car at the end of the road, waiting to see us being blown heavenwards.
Bury it certain fathoms in the earth.
Prospero's relinquishment of power. Really, most apposite. Next.
Clay too turned and dead Caesar imperious.
Imperial.
Hamlet.
Yes, please use the first quarto pirated version.
Does that help us? 5 quotations.
They must connect in some way. Concentrate, Dimmock, concentrate.
It was Dr. Johnson, I believe, who remarked, "Depend upon it, sir, when a man knows he is to be hanged, it concentrates his mind wonderfully."
He had a fortnight.
Have you tried all 12 lines? Yes, thank you. I will try again. Well, yes, I'm sorry you've been troubled too.
Now, what factor have they in common?
All by Shakespeare.
All quoted backwards.
Therefore, logically, the solution should read backwards.
Another quote made out of these.
Does seem somewhat prone to them.
I come to bury
Caesar.
Childish, simple.
30 seconds to go.
I come to bury Caesar, Act 2, Scene 3.
That's a little too easy.
Yes, it is.
Let me check. There should be an audible hum from the electronic reaction.
Is there?
No. Oh, no, of course not. The circuits contain no current until the activator lever is thrown.
Then throw it.
That shouldn't have happened.
Dimmock, wait. Comano is African. His intention is destructive. I come to bury Caesar. Touch that, and we have logically brought about our own deaths. That's why it was so simple. Don't you see? Change the combination. Do anything. It doesn't matter.
It stopped. You've done it.
I see. That was the trick. Solve it. And...
He fixed a time breaker to every circuit.
Yes.
Excuse me, please.
Certainly.
Hello? It's Houston. Yes, I know. We had a slight break in communication. Where are you? Oh, I see. Well, walk 75 yards, turn left, and somewhere down that road you should see a car. Be careful how you get into it.
And the irony is we could have dialed any combination about the right one, or even left it alone, and we would have been safe.
Oh, you've been a lot of trouble to me, Kumano. I'll take that.
The prefect of Peking, this was before the revolution, you understand, was playing this game one night with a friend when a messenger hurtled into the room saying, "There are brigands in the city, your life is in danger." And the prefect, totally absorbed in his game, said, "I know my position is dangerous, but I cannot find a move that will save me." Yes?
Bomb disposal here, sir.
Tell them to go away again. We've decided to keep it. As a relic. What a discordant voice that female has.
That'll be the one with the ginger moustache.
How did you discover she has a ginger moustache?
Easily. I asked her. On the intercom. Have you a ginger moustache? From the sharp intake of breath and the click, I deduced her guilt. Still your move.